Hey besties, so Transforming Rollie is out and I wanted to put my own little spin on it as a post-op nurse. So there was a lot of things that I was just like, yeah, okay, I can see why she's botched now or is allegedly claiming to be botched now because some of the practices that she just got into is just like, nah, she shouldn't have done it. So anyway, I want to go do a little breakdown of like what I saw and what I thought was like, all right, normal, what I thought was like, yeah, that could have been done differently. And just like what's just norm for the culture. Because what I think is a lot of people don't understand when you do those plastic surgeries or those cosmetic surgeries in Miami, in DR, and other places like that, you're not going to a hospital. So what we saw there is really what how it is. It's like that's how it happens. But again, there's a certain things like the girlies want to know. Certain experiences like, oh, they could get their surgeries done from this. And y'all have to understand that Rollie is getting money from that. Shout outs to her because she looks good. And as I have learned, really, outside of baddies, I actually enjoy her personality. So I really just want to get into it. Just not no shade, nothing like that. But just like I said, like as an actual person who's in the profession. So let's get into it. Cause nobody else want to hear this shit. You probably don't hear it. I don't know. But let's get into it. So first of all, I hated the intro. Like Zeus need to get the shit slapped out of them by Rollie. Okay, so Rollie's sitting there and she's talking about her personal struggles with food and how she's aiming to be healthy, and they literally are playing clips of her being sexual on Real Chance of Love, eating a banana sexually, and all that stuff. Like it was just to me real tasteless. Like y'all really need to get y'all shit together. Also, I do have a download on it should be on my bio in my bio now. So get me if it's not. But just helping women or whomever want to get the surgery prepare for it. So one book, Get Chopped Not Screwed, is a book that's gonna just tell you my experience with the surgery, and the next book is just a journal. So making sure that you stay on top of like your lab visits, planning. I go into like financial planning just to get prepared for like if things just pop up, like stuff like that. All right, so the first episode started with her doing her surgery, and so where she's like explaining why she wants to do the surgery, and everybody has their reasons for why they want to do the surgery, right? Like when I wanted to do the surgery, I had a flat ass, but my whole thing was, listen, I don't want to look like a slipper, I don't want to look like a P, I don't want to look like an upside down triangle, like you know what I'm saying? Let me go and get the surgery. So I'm not I'm different because I understand that part of it. But for her, she's saying, I needed to be more healthy, I needed to be healthier, blah blah blah. But at this point it's like, sis, like a BBL is not for your health. You know what I'm saying? Like a BBL is literally for the person who's already healthy but wants that like snatched look. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of felt like her thought process was a little off, or maybe she wanted to like let us feel like she was doing it for health reasons, but in reality, it's really vanity. I don't know why she kept on spinning this narrative of health. You know what I mean? Like, because it's not really a health thing. Sis, like if you wanted to get snatched, you want to get snatched. Like you with the baddies, it makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? And if you wanted to get that snatched look, yes, it would have been very helpful for her to lose weight. Like absolutely, again, like she looks really good right now. And she did say, she was like, people want to talk shit about my process, but when they see me, they gonna be like, damn, you look the fuck good. So I do understand where she's coming from. Again, I had to be VL and I did some drastic things. If y'all want to talk about that, we could talk about it because I did not do it the right way. I was one of them girls that y'all talk about, but also when I did it, it wasn't popular. Like everybody wasn't going out getting their body done. It was like still taboo or still like white people doing it, but not really black people. So it wasn't one of those things where everybody was giving information out so readily. Like it wasn't like that. So the reason why I say that she should have done like something like a gastric sleeve first, or not, maybe not the gastric sleeve, but just lost weight a more natural way first, is just because the heavier you weigh, the greater your BMI, the more that they're gonna have to do lipo for you. Okay, and so if they're gonna do lipo, they have to, when you're doing lipo, rather, you lose a lot of blood. The more fat they have to take out of you, the more blood they're going to take out at the same time. So thus your hemoglobin is going to be low. And if you know about hemoglobin, you know, iron. Again, this is all in my journal, like that I have on my page. So if you want, go ahead and download it. But it has all of that just to make sure that you stay on top of the things that you need to stay on top of. Feel me? Hence why I think that she wasn't under anesthesia during her process. Like, I think this was, yeah, during her whole process, she wasn't under anesthesia. So the first time, shout outs to Goals, they had one of their peoples go hold her hand, you know, through the whole surgery, because she was awake during her surgery. So she was awake during the putting in of the fat. Like, she was awake during that whole process, which to me, I know how much I was in pain after the surgery. So just to be awake during the surgery and feeling them prod and probe like that, nah, that's not good. But at the same time, like, yo, she's obese at this point. Runs so many more risk of complications if she's under anesthesia, or versus if she doesn't have the anesthesia. So now if she's under anesthesia, she could stop breathing, anything can go bad with it. So that's why I believe that she had the surgery while she was awake and able to like just know what was going on. I saw a few people commenting saying that she didn't meet her surgeon until the day of, and like, what kind of stuff is that? But to be honest, when you go and get your surgeries done at these places, again, they are clinics, cosmetic clinics. They're not hospitals, right? Like, so you don't, I think Dr. Miami actually has a facility where he'll have his nurses, not only Dr. Miami, I wanted of Miami too, but like, I think William, yeah, some William something. But they have their own nurses and they have their like facilities. It's like hospital like type of clinic, but it's not a hospital, right? Like, even if you are a doctor, you can perform a cosmetic surgery without having any experience, without have taken a class on it. It's one of those things where the cosmetic surgery procedures kind of fall under this umbrella of, it's like anybody can do it. You know what I mean? So you have to be very careful about these things, and because of that, but on top of that, because it's like that, it's kind of laid back, and it's just an elective surgery. They just do things way differently. So like I said, like, you might meet the surgeon the day of your surgery. I actually met my surgeon the day of my surgery, especially because, you know, you're not from that state, right? Like, I didn't live in Miami, I lived in New York. So I had to literally like try to, actually at that time I think I was actually living in Florida, but I wasn't in Miami, I was in Tampa. So I had to meet, yeah, like I said, I had to meet the surgeon the day before. Actually, how about I didn't even select that surgeon that I had that day. I actually had a whole other surgeon, but they told me, I want to say a week or two before the surgery, that my surgeon wasn't going to be there, and then I had to find, and then that this new surgeon will be able to do it. So I just want to keep that in mind. Like, you might not meet your surgeon until the day of the surgery. I think when my friend had hers, same thing. She met her surgeon the day of surgery. So that's like a common thing. It's not that great, but it is a common thing. I'm really proud of Rollie. I can't deny that. I mean, I'm just giving my critique as a post-op nurse and also as somebody who got the surgery. And I know people just curious about the processes, and, you know, they don't know what's normal and what's not. So that's why I'm giving my take. But I'm proud of her because, number one, she did do that shit without anesthesia, which, wow, like, shout out to her. And shout out to anybody else who has done it too, but not me. Number two, I'm proud of her because, you know, she had just, I don't know, just her whole experience is just, she's a real cool, she's a real cool woman, and I'm happy I got to know her in this light. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about Gunna. So Gunna and Big Sexy came to support her and support her surgery. They've been coming in and out. Like I saw Gunna once so far, but Big Sexy has definitely been there. He's been by her side. He's been giving her encouragement, which she needs at this time. Like she needs a lot of encouragement because she's just going through so much pain. Her process is long. This little girl is getting 6 surgeries at this point, and so I think she's on surgery number 2 in season on episode 1. She's at surgery number well, I think she got 2 surgeries, so she probably just completed her surgery, her second surgery, and so she just needs a lot of encouragement, a lot of support, and so I'm happy. But I love Gutta like da 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 da. What is it? Da da da. I'm sorry, Gonna. I plucked up your thing, like. I'll let you know. You know what I mean? And so I really feel like she should have taken the time out to just kind of get her mind right in terms of like her nutrition habits and just like her regular daily habits like with exercise and and all that good stuff. Just because Rollie had a lot of subcutaneous fat, right? So we have subcutaneous fat, kind of like what you can pinch, and it's like movable and it's like you could just kind of feel it. It's not like so stiff, right? And then we have visceral fat, which is around the organs. And so with the visceral fat, you really need to exercise in order to get rid of that. So she's gonna have a few, things to kind of deal with because they're sitting there trying to get as close to they're going to try to get her as smashed as possible, and so you could potentially damage somebody, right? Because what you're doing is just keep going down, and so you're hitting nerves, you're hitting the lymphatic system, you're going into like all of the lymph nodes, and you're hitting everything, and so you can potentially botch somebody because of the fact that it's so much fat that they're trying to make you look good. The surgeon wants to make you look good. The surgeon knows that their name is riding on your looks, especially with Rollie because she had it publicized and televised, I guess, or whatever. And so they're going in. So the more fat you have, they're trying to go in and suck it out, suck it out, suck it out, so that you can have this perfect image. And so you wind up getting botched pretty much. And so I feel like if she had less fat, they would have felt like they had to go so hard, and thus making sure that she had the desired look. Also, I don't know, so many times going in, you could probably botch it too. I don't know that part of it as far as everything. But I love the fact that she had IV. Honey, baby had IV vitamins. Like, okay, cool. You know what? You know that you did the surgery the wrong way, or you're going about the surgery maybe the faster way. But you know what? She made sure she had what she needed. You know what I'm saying? She got IV nutrients. I love that for them. Yo, also shout outs to Rollie because that baby had her ass and her titties just out, like for the world to see. Like no pasties or nothing. And I mean they had it blurred, but you could pretty much see like the majority of her breasts, right? And then she had the little number where she had her legs open a little bit, and then you almost could see the woo-ha. You know what I'm saying? Her ass was out. Just forget about the ass. That ass was just out, and it was ass, and them titties was titty, and the stomach was stomach, and everything was doing what they was doing. Okay, she did not come to play. She didn't give a fuck, and you have to love somebody like that because she's just like, yeah, take me as I am. You know what I'm saying? She ain't had the wig on. She wasn't trying to do all of that extra shit. So that I could tell, like, that's a real moment. Because when you're going through that pain and you have to get your massages and honey, you don't care how you look, okay? As many times as I've helped people with these surgeries, like seriously, like people really have their ass and titties out. Like that's all that's happening in the hotel room or whatever room that they do it in. Like people really have their ass and titties out. Like so, it was just kind of cute to kind of see that part of it because it was just real. You know what I'm saying? And I love real. And like I also just feel like they didn't even give her nothing but Tylenol for her surgery. Like, huh? What? Tylenol. I had Oxy. Okay. Now, I don't know how, because I think the goals that she went to was in Atlanta, right? And so with Atlanta, you gotta be, I don't know how the rules were, but with Miami, you literally, they had a narcotic shortage, right? Or I don't know if it was a shortage per se, but like a lot of people was abusing drugs, or, there's a lot of like drug activities down there. So trying to get narcotics, even if it's prescription, it was difficult. But let me tell you, honey, they admit they gave it to us. I mean, the Tylenol was like a backup thing. Like, okay, well, if you're still in pain or breakthrough pain, or I don't know if you know about breakthrough, what breakthrough means, but like, say your pain is like really excruciating, but you're not due for an oxy yet, you can take a Tylenol to kind of like get that edge off. But it was not like Tylenol was the go-to thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not how it was. Also, for them not to have given her prescriptions ahead of time is just a little odd to me, because usually I did hear something where they gave her prescriptions at another time, but because remember, she is getting 6 surgeries in total. So but that I don't know, so I don't know like which one is get sometimes it gets a little foggy. But the first one, I believe, is the one that she didn't have like everything ready, which I just think that that's crazy. When you bring somebody with you, like if it's me and I'm going to go get my clients' medications, I'm going to make sure that we do that the day before surgery. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk to the surgeon actually, and I want to go to the actual facility. Is there anything that my client is gonna need? Is there anything that we should be looking out for? Whatever else that they need. But to just not give her prescriptions ahead of time is just crazy. Even like something for nausea. I mean, again, I only know what they said on this show. So they pointed out Tylenol and that's it. But my thing is, she needs something for nausea, because you get hella nauseous during that time period, especially if you're trying to eat. She needed something for pain, like some real shit, like oxy or narcotic, actual narcotic. And then yeah, she could have her go to Tylenol for her breakthrough, but at least, oh, and an antibiotic. I didn't hear them talk about any of those things, so that's just a little concerning to me.